Hey there guys, over here we are going to be having the Signar army led by Haley2 and also a Khador army led by Butcher3 because this is going to be a doubles game. Meanwhile, on the other side, we're going to have Abby2 leading some Legion and also Xerxis leading some Scorn. So really this came about because normally we have our regular War Machine Wednesday game, but Jeff Everett of Canadian War Machine fame and his buddy Brian were in town from Kelowna, and we said, hey, let's set this up as a doubles game. So the scenario here will be on a 6x4. You see the 3 zones there. Only the center one can be dominated for 2. The rest can only be controlled or dominated for 1. First to 7 wins. So we'll see what happens there. The Kelowna boys, there on the left, they're going to be really just getting up here right away. The Bonded Stormclad getting up there, going to get TK'd up. They're going to put Arcane Shield up onto Butcher3 and his dogs, which is just mean. Thorn's going to get there up as well, and I believe he also... Yeah, he doesn't have enough TKs for all those, but he did. But he also TK'd up Rune as well. But either way, stuff is getting up there quick. The way that you see the Edmonton boys on the right, their army is a lot smaller. They won the initiative and they decided they really wanted that wall. But if you look at the way they're deployed, they don't really have anything going for that top zone. And that could be a real problem. Remember, this is a scenario game to 7, so losing a few points in an outer zone is okay. But if you look up there with those Kayazi and the Black Dragons and all that stuff, that zone is going to be full. So that will be a worry that they're going to have to deal with. Just to tell you guys the battle group, because, you know, I didn't put up the list because I'm lazy. The Legion 1 is going to be running 2 Scythians, a Carnivian, a Seraph, 2 Rakes, and a Shredder. The Xerxes list is going to have Mullet Karn, a Gladiator, and a Kreia. And I already said the battle group for the Kelowna boys. So turn 1 for the Edmonton guys, the Deathstalkers are going to kind of get into position. One's going to run up, the other one's going to get down here, and then they have a conundrum. Usually against Haley2, you just want to run up the board because you know you're going to get feeded on and you want to get as much distance as possible so you don't get locked out of zones. However, they are also facing Butcher3, and if they run up willy-nilly, they will just lose everything and be feeded on and have nothing to deal with it. So their plan here is going to be kind of go defensively around this wall, try and weather the storm, and then counter after that. The one Rake does run up into the zone to the top. I do feel that was a little bit preemptive. I mean, you don't need to contest the zone yet. Could have been a little bit farther back. But hey, you might as well have some presence up there, right? As we said, you don't want to completely give up on the zone. So that's really it. Orin Minwinter's back there trying to get into a good position for Butcher later. And now we're on to the Kelowna boys, turn 2. And this is where they got to really work out their strategy. Doubles games, there's a lot to think about. You have basically at this point here 100 points on the table. You have conflicting battle tactics and things. So they're going to really trying to work these things out. Like right now he's saying, hey, can you TK up my Ruin? And Haley2 player is saying, well, no, I need to use all the focus I can. So they're working out their strategies here. And eventually what he's actually going to use these marksmen as just throwaway. These Deathstalkers can be a real problem, and so what the marksmen are going to do is just going to run right beside them, and that's going to mean that then the Blazers can just shoot the marksmen and electro leap into the Deathstalkers and kill them that way. So there they go, just getting into position, moving in to contest the zone. He's going to be going with Butcher and doing a little bit of energizing, getting up here with them. Ruin having some nasty thoughts of that Rake up there. Otherwise, Gun Mage is going up, a little bit slowed down by that water, but trying to get a bead onto the Deathstalker. They're going to take some shots onto it, and with Deadeye, they're going to be hitting it pretty easy and killing him, getting him out of the way. Then the Blazers can go, and they're going to be doing a Electro Leap, like we said, to kill the other Deathstalker. And then just trying to soften up the Scorn army. Now with the Kreia in there and with the Forest, it is a little bit tougher, but they do get a little bit of damage in there. Otherwise, Ruin charges up there. That Rake turns into a red mist and just destroyed. So down a beast up there already. Anastasia had gotten up to be ready for later turns, as did Gorman. The Stormblades getting up into position, the Riflemen running up here, and then also, of course, the Black Dragons and Kayazi flooding into the zone, really saying, like, man, that top zone is going to be a massive problem. Finally, you're also going to have Haley that's going to be charging up here, popping feet. The feet's going to cover everything except for, I believe, is the Shredder and the Pain Givers. So pretty much the entire army. Not what you wanted whatsoever, but that's the way it goes. Also, then the Stormclad is going to charge in, the bonded one. I believe it maybe just walked up, but it's going to be boosting and buying some attacks here, killing off a couple of guys with its big old POW 19. Also doing some Electro Leaps. And then, oh, here's the worst thing. Gorman, who got TK'd up, is going to come up here and aim at the Seraph. It's going to miss and scatter, and instead blind Abby2, the Carnivian, and both Scythians. And that was bad. I mean, to be honest, they weren't going to do very much anyway, but now between the feet and blind, they can literally do nothing but cast their Animus. So very, very rough. And now we're on to turn 2 for the Edmonton boys on the right, and they got to really figure something out. Of course, Haley2 is telling them what they got to activate when, but if they don't get into these zones and contest them, it is literally game over, because they will score 3 points here. Haley has to walk into the center zone or Butcher, and it'll be 7 points, just like that. So they need to get into the zones. They also will want to kill Gorman and Anastasia. As the Insinuarii, whatever, went down here, they're going to light some guys on fire. The Seraph is going to take 3 shots into Anastasia, needing 11s to hit and missing every goddamn one. So again, that's like a coin flip that you failed 3 times in a row. So that's something like what, like 12.5% chance of happening. So really bad luck. And now with Anastasia alive, that's even making this situation worse. They do really want Gorman dead, at least, down here. So he's actually going to have a Gladiator put Rush onto the Shredder. The Shredder will also get Tenacity, and then it's going to be charging into Gorman. So he does have to get this Rake out of the way first. We have some other activations to do. Of course, this is Haley2, so a lot of the activations are kind of useless. I mean, this Rake just kind of walks into the zone, so at least the center zone is contested, so that's something. The Shredder will also get into the center zone, hit and kill Gorman, so that's great for the Edmonton boys. I'm a little bit biased because I'm an Edmonton boy too. But the Pain Givers are going to go now, and they're going to get into the zone to contest. So middle zone contested, bottom zone contested, but that still means that the Signar Kador team is going to score 1 from the top zone. So up 1 point already, and it's back to their turn now. And this could get a little bit bad. So right now they're looking at it. Butcher3 can probably get to Abby2. There's a little bit of Beast in the way, but of course he has his tricks. And there's also Haley2. So Haley's going to go, and she's going to TK some things up. Reactionary drive up there with Thorn is his name. And then he's going to be TKing out of the way the heavies that were blocking both Abby2 and Orin Midwinter. Because, yeah, Butcher3 hates Orin Midwinter and his little bubble of you can't cast spells. And now that the opening has been made, the Rifleman can just get up there and shoot him down. So otherwise, after that's all done, he just kind of moves out of the way. Gun Mages are going to come up here, and they're going to do a big combined shot into the Shredder. Not kill it, but it's left in like 2 boxes left. Otherwise, over here, he's going to be going with his Blazers. They're going to be killing off the Pain Givers that are in the zone, and also try and get a few shots onto the Scorn Infantry. Xerxis is actually defeated defensively, so he, got extra armor from that. So he's not going to take as many losses as you might think he would. And then after that, of course, fast cav away. So otherwise here, he's going to just kind of get things a little bit more threatening, and then the Stormblades are going to charge in. Of course, they can assault because they have the UA. They're not going to do very much damage, but I mean, really, all they need to do at this point is keep this scenario game up. Get up there, charge up there, block them out, and this could actually be over pretty quickly by scenario if they're not careful. Now he's going to go with the Riflemen. They're going to be able to kill off Orin Midwinter, so that's going to be really bad for Butcher. Then Anastasia goes up, and she gets off an Espionage, and that means all the stuff here gets to go again. And as they measured it out to find out who's effective, Butcher3, who is also benefiting still from the Arcane Shield, is also going to get affected by Anastasia. So whereas Butcher3 was probably already in range, yeah, now he's going to get a free move up, and he'll really easily be in range. So otherwise, the gun mages went up, the Shredder was killed, getting extra shots in there, the Stormblades get the charge again. A little bit extra damage there. Not really killing anything, but again, just getting in the way. Now Butcher is going to get his free move. He'll make a free attack against the Rake. You know, they could focus on the Rake and kill it, but the big thing is, if they just kill Abby2, it goes wild, and then it doesn't contest anyway. So, yeah, that seems to be the way to go. Otherwise, the Stormclad is just going to try and hop over the wall, get a little bit annoying. Butcher3 is going to get in there. Of course, do Butcher3's thing. You got the Kador unit here in the bottom going in there and making clouds just to help kind of contest, kind of like a double, triple fail safe just in case. But yeah, Butcher's going to go in there. Impending Doom, say that you can't transfer. They'll use up all the focus. Then he'll feat, get all his focus back, and kill Abby2. So that makes all these things wild. For those who don't know what wild means, because you don't play double games, when they go wild, they're allowed to still run, but they can't do anything else. So really at this point here, where the Forsaken have been killed off, and the rest of it here, like the Legion player basically can do nothing but run around with a beast. So it's looking really bad. Of course, you look at all the zones here. He's going to recontrol all 3 zones. So where it was 1-0, now it's 4-0. Butcher3 is also going to kill one of the Scythians, just because that's how it works when he's swinging around with his flashing blade. And yeah, the Edmonton boys on the right, they're in a very bad spot. And really, when you look at this situation here, the only option they have available to them is assassination. They have a gladiator that's right there close to Butcher, so maybe with that you can kill off Butcher. Haley2 had actually moved back towards a house, so trying to kill him is going to be, or her rather, is going to be very, very difficult. And but man, that's the only choice, because otherwise you just cannot get enough in these zones that won't be killed, allowing them to win by scenario again, because clearly nothing's going to get into the top zone. So best case scenario would be 5-0 at the end of this turn, and then they just need to get back to these zones or just dominate the middle one and win. So he's going to go now, and he's going to be putting Fury onto the Gladiator, get +3 strength. It is going to be, well, the Legion player with his Wild Beast will get out of the way. Then he's going to be slamming Butcher for free, knocking him down, then buying these attacks. And normally that would mean probably a dead Butcher, but again, Arcane Shield means that after all of this, he's only taking about half damage. You know, it wasn't like it was bad dice or anything, it's just Arcane Shield, and he had pretty good armor anyway. So yeah, nothing's really done there. And so with that failing, I mean, with Haley2 already being a super stretch to try and kill, where maybe you could light her on fire and get like a massive damage roll or something, now it's like, yeah, it's pretty much over. They're going to make some extra attacks here to try and kill some stuff, but nothing's going to get into the zones. It's going to be control, and the Signar and Kador are going to be winning by scenario. So a pretty one-sided game, but I mean, that Haley2 Butcher3 combination, very, very powerful. We'll have a little bit of talk, of course, at the end here. I mean, a few more attacks here just for fun. But yeah, please post down below what you think that the Abby2 and Xerxis player should have done, because, whew, this one was a little bit rough, and I kind of felt bad for my, fellow Edmontonians here. So the game just ended by a scenario, because there was nothing that the Kador or Signar team had to do other than just stay in the zones. What do you guys think about the game?
Haley's bullshit.
No, Haley's not bullshit. Gorman and Anastasia are bullshit in team games.
Anastasia, Butcher3.
Right.
Best thing ever.
Yup.
How much do you think it was a big factor that you guys decided to pick sides rather than go first? Do you think going first could have really kind of balanced it a little bit more?
Probably.
I don't think so, because, I mean, we would have ran first turn, My guys aren't particularly fast running first turn. I'm still going to be slightly outside of the zone when he feats and just keeps me there and then just engages everything. I mean, I might have been able to walk something into that zone, but
You probably could at least start shooting.
our major issue was all on this side.
No, I think the major issue was this pile.
Yeah.
I should have been more aggressive.
Gorman getting a good deviation was a huge factor.
Yeah.
It was like
Just that
massive.
he's immune to most things that Legion throws at him. So
Not
if
pissed off Shredder.
if I didn't bring a gun, then
Right, if some more things were on this side, I could have stayed out of Haley's feet, I guess. And
Even then,
no, because I mean, if I moved, I was thinking about moving one unit of the incendiary over there, and that's actually a good counter for what he has over
Right.
there. Just because
True.
just throw
it's just
lots
getting
of
the
shots.
1 point on each
Yeah.
turn.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you think the blind was actually a big factor? Because if it wasn't for the blind, they would have been able to walk up, but then Butcher still goes on his killing spree.
The heavies could have spread out and they still could have done a lot. Like
Yeah.
the assault spray, like you could have killed Anastasia too if I didn't get the blind off.
That's fair.
Yeah, and then they would have moved, so I would have had a little bit more area for Orin to go hide behind a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was just a giant blob there. I was like, well, I can't get anything over there to.
yeah, I should have went right into the zone instead of staying behind the wall here.
Yeah, and Or needed to be in like a little cubby of heavies, so no, like there's no way for us to see him. That's probably a big deal. I guess TKs. There's no
Yeah.
way to stop it. I mean,
Damn that Haley2.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just so good.
I've been messed up by Haley2, and now I get to feel dirty, be on the sides. So
Yeah,
this
just
is what it feels like.
Well, she's a great toolbox caster. It's just her feat is because it's both. It's okay. I gotta choose the order that you activate. Okay, well that's fine. That didn't really bog me down too much. In all honesty, like it didn't bug me at all that you're like, okay, go this, go this, go this, go this, because I managed to still get the things done I wanted to get done. But back like, okay, you can move or attack. Well, crap.
I couldn't do either, so that was
Yes.
fun.
What do you guys think of this scenario for a doubles game? Do you think this was a fair scenario given all the casters?
I think it was fine.
Yeah, it's not too bad. With the table, it's big enough that a caster can't like dominate the entire board.
Yeah.
So you just gotta play like a lot more spread out than usual kind of thing. Like
Mhm.
take up a whole board.
For
Yeah,
sure.
you also, yeah. I mean, the small. We should have thought a little bit more about when we were planning out this
Yeah.
because
Yeah, when you
these
figure
are
about the model
bricks,
count.
aren't brick armies, and they don't do super well on
Yeah.
giant tables.
Yeah.
Probably had double the model count, if not more.
Oh, easily.
Probably
Yeah,
more, yeah.
Definitely should have been on the other list.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for playing.
Yeah.